Hey all, it's John Trent from Fandango and Atom Comics. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do so now. I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. It helps us to create more awesome videos like this one. So let's get into some Star Wars news here. Star Wars tickets have gone on sale and we are getting some very interesting reports about those ticket sales. Deadline revealed some statistics on the Rise of Skywalker ticket sales from online retailer Fandango. The film was reportedly the #1 daily ticket seller, making up more than half of Wednesday's ticket sales on Fandango. Not only that, but it sold more tickets than any other Star Wars film in the opening hours after going on sale on Fandango. Fandango's managing editor Eric Davis told Deadline, quote, "Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is blasting through all current and upcoming new releases with massive pre-sales on Fandango." He adds, "Film fans are excited to see what's in store for Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo Ren, and the rest of their favorite Star Wars characters in this final chapter of the Skywalker saga, especially with director J.J. Abrams at the helm." Man, it sounds like things are doing really, really well for the Rise of Skywalker. You would think that it's going to maybe beat Endgame's record the way he's talking about it here. But actually, let's kind of look into this. They don't actually give us a total ticket number. They don't tell us how many tickets they sold. They don't even give us a time range for when they're like talking about how well their pre-sales are doing. We just get a general term of, quote, opening hours. What does that even mean? What does opening hours mean? Is it the first hour, the second hour? Is it up till like Thursday today, or is it up till Friday? Does it continue going into like tomorrow? Like where are they tracking here? What are they tracking? What's the time frame? They don't tell us any of this information. And then you also have to ask the question, is making up half of Fandango's ticket sales on a Wednesday that big of a deal? I mean, that sounds really impressive, but how many people are buying tickets to a movie on a Wednesday? I know I don't. I don't buy tickets to a movie on a Wednesday, so I'm sure there's almost no competition. So of course it's going to be selling more than half of all their other tickets because no one's going to the movie theaters on a Wednesday. I know I buy my tickets usually on a Friday or a Saturday and sometimes on a Sunday depending on how busy my schedule is for the weekend. But I hardly ever buy tickets on a Wednesday. Maybe I'm an outlier, but I don't think I am. If you look at ticket sales throughout the week, they're almost always down compared to the weekends. And so there's this other claim that I also found interesting. So they claim that it has sold the most Star Wars tickets on Fandango. So you have to look at Fandango's history to like kind of really dive into this. Like, oh wow, they've sold the most Star Wars tickets. Holy crap, man, that's a lot. Like you think that's a lot, but Fandango has only been around for 20 years. It was founded in 2000. That means the only Star Wars movies that they sold tickets to were the new Disney films, which includes Force Awakens, Last Jedi, now The Rise of Skywalker, as well as Solo and Rogue One. And it also includes the two prequel films, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, which came out in 2002 and 2005, respectively. Phantom Menace came out in 1999, which was a year before Fandango was founded. So they weren't even selling tickets to Phantom Menace, and they definitely didn't sell any tickets to the original trilogy because they were not around. What makes this even more interesting is that Fandango's first year of business, they only sold 250,000 tickets total, according to The Hollywood Reporter, in an article from 2010 when they were celebrating their 10-year anniversary. So it's more than likely the tickets they sold for Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith were not that big anyways because people weren't buying tickets online. They weren't using Fandango to purchase tickets. Attack of the Clones was only 2 years after Fandango's founding, so I just highly doubt that people were buying tickets on Fandango for Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith. You just went to the movie theater and purchased your tickets for the most part. But it also shouldn't be surprising that a new movie like The Rise of Skywalker would be breaking in online ticketing retailers' sales records for the franchise, for the Star Wars franchise, because consumers are now increasingly purchasing their tickets online. Variety reported that online movie ticket purchases increased 18.7% in 2018 alone. That's almost 20% in increase in just a year. The Last Jedi came out in 2017, and 2018 saw almost 20% increase of people purchasing their tickets online. So it's not really that big of a deal for them to say that, like, oh, this is our biggest selling Star Wars movie ever. Well, of course, because more people are buying tickets from your service than they were previously, and so we don't even see that information. And it's just like this. They just try and insinuate that it's just doing so well, but people are just changing their behavior and they're buying tickets online now. So we don't even know how that actually factors in, and they don't tell us this information because they're trying to keep us in the dark about it. They don't want us to know. But there might actually be even more to the story. Fandango actually lets users see how many seats are available for theaters with assigned seats, which most theaters are kind of switching over to. Especially in my area here, most movie theaters have at least one screen where they have assigned seats. The theater that I like to go to, the entire theater is assigned seating. So I actually looked at one of my local theaters that has assigned seating here in Virginia and discovered most of the showings for the Rise of Skywalker have quickly filled up on Thursday and Friday, December 19th and the 20th. But when I got to Saturday, there were a lot more open seats. And then when you look at the Sunday showing at 8 p.m., the entire theater is available. No one has purchased a ticket yet. So once again, this is also a pattern with modern films seeing less and less people heading to the theaters as the weekend progresses. So that could obviously explains why it is. That's how people are behaving when they're watching their movies now. They want to see it right away, and then it kind of tapers off through the weekend. So an example, the Numbers reports The Last Jedi made $104.6 million on Friday, December 15th when it premiered. That also probably includes Thursday previews. So December 14th as well. By Saturday, it only brought in $63.9 million, and on Sunday, it was down to $51.3 million. So you can see people aren't buying as many tickets on Sunday or Saturday as they might. Well, maybe that's not true, but people aren't buying as many tickets on Sunday as they are Saturday. But you can see that Thursday and Friday kind of still aren't as powerful as Saturday. So that makes it even more interesting there. That's just as another little wrinkle, is that I was seeing more open seats on Saturday than I was Thursday and Friday. But that could also be attributed, remember Last Jedi was 2017, so people's behavior could have changed a little bit in 2019, and they're even trying to see the movies even beforehand, and then you're getting even more theater openings, opening up showing theaters even earlier on Thursdays, which has changed as well. But the bigger question here is, are pre-sales even indicative of how well a movie will perform at the box office? Solo: A Star Wars Story proves they are not. So this also came from Fandango about a year ago with Solo. They reported that the film had higher pre-sales than Black Panther, and the only film that it didn't have higher pre-sales in 2018 was Avengers: Infinity War. But if you look at the end results, it tells a vastly different story. So Black Panther actually completed its domestic box office run, bringing in $700 million. Solo only brought in $213.7 million at the domestic box office, and it didn't even hit $400 million at the global box office. It made $393.1 million worldwide. So pre-sales are not indicative of what the end box office is going to be. And it's not just Fandango pre-sale numbers you have to be wary about. Atom Tickets uses the same tactics as Fandango. They like to obfuscate. So Atom Tickets also reported to Deadline that the Rise of Skywalker sold 2.5 times more tickets than The Last Jedi. They also indicated they sold 45% more tickets than Avengers Endgame in its first hour. So 2.5 more tickets, what does that mean? How many tickets did you, you don't have an actual number. 2.5 times times one ticket is 2.5 tickets, and you can't really sell a half ticket, right? So you only sold 2 tickets. So what does that actually mean? We don't get a total number here. And then their whole like Avengers Endgame stat is just absolutely complete garbage. Because if you remember correctly, when Avengers Endgame went on sale, Atom Tickets, Fandango, AMC, Regal, all of these sites and apps, they were crashing and they were down, and you couldn't even get on to purchase tickets. So the idea that Rise of Skywalker is selling 45% more tickets than Avengers Endgame is just absolutely absurd, because people will act. I mean, it makes sense. It's not absurd. It makes sense because people couldn't even purchase tickets to Avengers Endgame. So I hope Rise of Skywalker was beating Avengers Endgame, so that 45% claim really isn't that much when people couldn't even purchase tickets to Endgame. So let's conclude here. Pre-sale numbers reports don't really mean much, especially day one reports like the ones from Deadline with Fandango and Atom Tickets. And they certainly don't mean anything when the companies don't even release any of their numbers. It's all smoke and mirrors until they show some real transparency. My name is John Trank, and you've been watching Bounding into Comics. Until next time.